Hello students, in the series of lectures in subject VLSI technology, we were discussing oxidation. In the previous lecture, we discussed the basic of oxidation process and also we discussed Deal and Groves model. Okay, and in the final conclusion of the lecture, previous lecture, we calculated the values of CO and CI. Okay, and considered two cases in which in one case diffusion was dominating, another case reaction control oxidation was dominating. Okay, now in this lecture we need to find the oxidation rate. Okay, so for that matter let us consider a quantity called n. So n1 is nothing but number of oxidant molecules per unit volume of oxide. Okay, so N1 is number of oxidant molecules per unit volume of the oxide. So for if oxidant is oxygen, then the value of N1 is 2.2 into 10 raised to the power 22. For if the oxidant is water, H2O molecules, so N1 will be number of water molecules will be simply double because silicon reacts with one molecule of oxygen to get silicon dioxide. Okay. But in case of water, silicon react with two molecules of water, 2H2O, to have silicon dioxide. Okay, to have one molecule of silicon dioxide. So here, a value of N1 in case of H2O oxidant will be 4.4 into 10 raised to the power 20. So we will discuss this. Now, if I multiply this N1 by the rate of change of thickness of the oxide layer, that is dx upon dt. So this is nothing but the flux. Okay, this is nothing but the flux. Okay, now what is flux at equilibrium? It can be equal to f1 f2 f3. So I am equating it to f3, and f3 was nothing but ks into ci. Okay, for that matter you can for these values you can refer my previous video. So if I replace the value of Ci that we found in the previous lecture, I can show you the values of Ci. That Ci was equal to this, that is C star upon this. So if I put the value of Ci from here into here, what I will get? I will get this. So I need to calculate the value of X. Okay, so just take this term to left side and put this dt into the right side. Okay. Again put this n1 in the denominator of ks. So what you will have? You will have ks upon n1 into c star times dt, that is equal to dx. So if I integrate this, what I will get? I will get 1 plus ks upon h into x plus ks x square upon 2d equal to ks c star upon n1 t plus some integration constant. Okay. So in order to find the value of this integration constant, we need to uh, take initial conditions. So let the initial condition is at the time t is equal to 0, when the oxidation was just started at time t is equal to 0. So there was already oxide layer present and that was equal to xi. So the thickness of oxide layer at t is equal to 0 was xi. So if I put t is equal to 0 here and x equal to xi here, what I will get? I will get the value of p. Okay, so I will get the value of p like this. Okay, now if I multiply equation number 1 with 2d upon ks, So why I am multiplying this by 2d upon ks? Because to eliminate the terms in the multiplication of x square. So if I multiply left hand side and right hand side by 2d upon ks, what I will get? I will get kx square plus x times 2d upon ks multiplied by this, that is equal to t times ks c star upon n1 into 2d upon ks plus p times 2d upon ks, and what is p? That we have already calculated. So just put this value here, you will get this expression. Okay. Now whatever term that is multiplication or that is in multiplication with x, let it be denoted by a, and whatever term that is multiplication with t, that is denoted by b. So this equation will reduce to x square plus ax equal to bt plus this term as it is. Okay. Now where a is equal to 1 plus ks upon s 2d upon ks, and b is equal to c star 2d upon n. So 2d c star upon n. Now if I further simplify this, so I can write it as x square plus ax equal to bt plus tau. Okay, so I can simplify this equation as this, bt plus tau. So by simplification, you will get that the value of tau will be equal to xi square plus axi upon b. Okay, so xi square plus axi square upon b, that will be the value of your tau. Okay, so how I found this? So we need to do, we need to equate this value to be tau. Okay, so by doing this you will get the value of tau. Okay, because I replaced this by b tau. Okay, so by simplification you will have the value of tau here. Okay, so I think you can find out the values of here. Okay, so how we will get, let me show you. That is x square plus 1 plus ks upon h multiplied by 2 dxi upon ks. This was equal to b tau. So just divide this by b tau, divided by b, you will get the value of tau here. So again here it will be divided by b. Now what is the value of b? That is 2d c star upon n1. So I will place 2d c star upon n1. So 2d will cancel out each other. Okay. So what I will get this. Okay. Now, if I further simplify this, I will get tau equal to xi square plus axi upon b. Okay. So if you simply replace the values of a and b here, you will get tau like this. So this is the equation that is finally we get x square plus a equal to b plus tau. Here tau is equal to this. So this is the equation that Deal and Groove model found. So this equation basically relates the thickness of oxide with time. Okay. So how this is done? We need to calculate this. So by using Sridharacharya rule, I can find the value. That will be minus a plus under root, that is a square plus 4b, that is t plus 2 if I further rewrite this equation by taking a square common from here, a square common from here, so what I will get? I will get this equation. Okay. So if time is very small, means oxidation process is done for a very short amount of time, what will happen? So if T is very less, this term 4b upon a square T plus tau, that will be very less. Okay. So this term is very less, so it can be replaced by that. This particular term will be very less in comparison to 1. So I can apply the expansion rule, that is 1 plus x raised to the power n will be equal to 1 plus nx if x is very less than 1. So the same rule I am applying here, so that will be 1 plus 1 by 2, that is the square root into this term. So what I will get? I will get this. So if I simplify this, what I will get b upon a t plus 2. Okay. So as you can see that the thickness of oxide layer varies linearly with time when we are oxidizing silicon for a very small amount of time. So initially, for a very small amount of time, you will have a linear curve. The thickness of oxide layer will increase linearly with time. But as the time increases, what will happen? So if t tends to infinity, if t goes to very high, so you can see that this term 4b upon a square t upon a square, 4b t upon a square, this term will be very high in comparison to 4b upon a square into tau. So 4b tau upon a square term can be neglected, and what I will get in this square root, I will have 4bt upon a square. So when this a square will goes out from the square root, this a will be cancelled out by this, and what I will get in the under root, that is your 4bt. Okay. Now this 4, if goes to the outside of this square root, what you will get, 2 and 2 will be cancelled out, and you will get under root of 2 under root of bt. Okay. So you can see here clearly that as the time increases, the thickness of oxide layer no longer increases linearly with time, but it increases parabolically with time, non-linearly. Okay, so this is the parabolic equation, y square equal to 4x. Okay, so as the time passes, uh, the thickness of oxide layer increases parabolically. Okay, the term b upon a is known as linear rate constant, and term b is known as parabolic rate constant. Okay, the values of these linear rate constant and parabolic rate constants are very high for wet oxidation, and these values are very small for dry oxidation, that is being found practically. So practically we found that the values of these rate constants are very high for wet oxidation and very small for dry oxidation. Okay, so a question comes, if we want to grow a thick oxide layer. Okay, so which oxidation process you will prefer, wet oxidation or dry oxidation? So the simple answer is, if you want to grow the thick oxide layer, if you want to grow the thick oxide layer, you will prefer wet oxidation. Okay. Now, if you want to grow the thin oxide layer, then you will prefer dry oxidation. Okay. So this is the curve that is between thickness of oxide and time. Okay, so initially you can see whether it is a dry oxidation or it is a wet oxidation. Obviously, in order to get the thick oxide layer, we prefer wet oxidation process, and in order to get the thin oxide layer, we prefer dry oxidation process. So here in both the curves you can see that initially for very small amount of times both the curves are starting linearly. As per the formula that we derived previously, for a small amount of time x, the thickness of oxide layer is equal to d upon a d plus tau, linearly. So this linear relation is described here and here also. Okay, because in dry oxidation the value of this constant, linear rate constant, is very low in comparison to the wet oxidation. That's why we are having a low thickness or a thinner oxide layer in case of dry oxidation. Okay, but as the time increases, we are having a parabolic relation between the thickness and time, that is Bt equal to x equal to Bt. So we are having a parabolic curve. Now suppose that we started with a silicon substrate and we examined it very closely that there is no oxide layer present here. So at time t is equal to 0, the thickness of the oxide layer should be 0. So both these curves should meet at t equal to 0. But you can see in this diagram that only in case of wet oxidation, this curve is meeting at origin. But in case of dry oxidation, this curve is not meeting at the origin. Means at t is equal to 0, there is a significant amount of thickness of the silicon dioxide layer that is present. Okay, here, here, this is that point where Deal and Groove model could not explain, and Deal and Groove model was failed here. Okay, so what is the reason behind this? So the reason behind this is that at the initial amount of time, the growth rate is very high. Okay, growth rate is not always linear like b upon a t plus tau. It is basically at initial times the growth rate is as shown in the diagram below. So this you can see that here in this time interval, in this very small amount of time interval, growth rate is very high. Okay, so this could not be explained by Deal and Grove's model. Okay, now growth rate also depends upon the various factors. Okay, now what are those various factors that we will discuss? So the effect of impurities and damage on the oxide rate or the oxidation rate. Okay, so if the water is here, so if the water is present, so in presence of water, a significant acceleration is oxidation rate is observed. Okay, so if we add 50 parts per million water vapor to a process that normally uses less than 1 ppm. Okay, so these are the experimental observations that were made at 800 degrees centigrade. uh, the oxidation of silicon was done for 700 minutes. So 300 angstrom thick oxide layer was grown with 1 ppm of water. So if we increase the content of water up to 25 ppm at the same temperature at of the same amount of time, so 370 angstrom layer was grown here. Okay. So sodium, high concentration of sodium changes bond structure of oxides. So enhancing the diffusion and concentration of oxide molecules in the oxide. Okay. Now group 3 and group 5 elements, or you can say the dopants, if the silicon substrate is already doped, then also oxidation rate changes. Okay. So when dopant elements are present, the oxidation behavior is enhanced. Okay. So dopant impurities are redistributed at silicon dioxide interface. Okay, so if dopants segregates into oxide and remain there. Now, if the dopants are segregated into oxide and they are remaining there, the bond structure will be weakened. So, this weakened bond structure will permit the increased diffusivity of the oxidizing species through oxide. Thus, this will enhance the oxidation rate. So, impurities that segregates into oxide and diffuse rapidly through it. So if the impurities are segregated into the oxide, okay, but they are diffusing through it very rapidly, so they will not have effect on the oxidation kinetics. If the impurities are remaining there, okay, then they will enhance the oxidation rate. Now, if we dope by phosphorus doping, so it is enhancement in the oxidation rate is only observed at lower temperature. Okay, so you can see here. So this is the case for boron at different temperature, thickness versus oxidation time. Okay. In case of phosphorus, you will get this enhancement in the lower temperature regions only. Now there is another orientation dependence of oxide rate. So oxidation thickness are a function of crystallographic orientations of silicon surface. Okay. So this relation is basically the quantity that we discussed, that is Ks, it depends upon the orientation. Okay, so I think this is the theoretical topic that we need to discuss. So these are the experimental observations that you can easily do. So this was the kinetics that was considered for the case of oxidation of silicon.